Hey, it's Bear here, talking about the Lullaby software a bit more. Again, Lullabize, you can go to humanitarians.ai, go down to Lullabize, and it'll get you a link to the Lullabize tool. So, what the Lullabize tool is to create little simple songs for cognitive learning, lullabies and simple songs that are based on neuroscience and learning theory. So what you do is I pasted in a little Bo Peep here, gave it the command Lullabize, and then it generated a song based on sort of how it should be structured for cognitive development based on theory. And that's what this tool has. By the way, I'm running a different tool called Musinique for any kind of learning. This is a little bit more complicated, so this might take a couple weeks to finish. But I will also have the same idea. It will have rules about how you learn things through songs and help you create a song with those rules helping you guide the lyrics. After you do lyrics, though, you can then start editing and changing. You should think of lyrics as sort of a first draft where you want to get started. Good thing about this first draft, it also gives you, by the way, suggestions for prompts for a video. If you want to do that, you want to create a video, we'll do other things on videos. So what I'm going to do is now take this into Suno and show you how much Suno can affect the final output. So the first one I did here was just cut and paste, did not do anything for the Lullabize output. So they're nice, but I find that kind of a little bland. But again, music is very, very personal. If you love that, great. What I then did is I just mixed up sort of not using traditional lullaby sounds, but things like rap and country and all that in there to just change it up a bit, see what it sounds like. When you use AI, it's a very iterative playing. You play with things, try, play with things, try, play with things, try. It took me 10 minutes to create, 20 songs. So it's easy to just try things, try things, try things, try things. So let's see what this sounds like.
Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep and can't tell where to find them.
So I like that a little bit better. I'm not in love with that, but I like it a little bit better than the traditional lullaby. Again, music is very personal. Maybe you love the first one, maybe you like or dislike this one. Third thing I did is what I usually do, and that's upload various recordings of my voice. And my belief, and you may disagree with me hearing these things, is it adds a sort of grittiness to the generated music. Just like you would if you upload a picture of yourself and had it transformed to like a, official office picture and just clean it up. It would still be you, but it would just be cleaned up and prettied up. And sort of that's what you can do with the music as well, is if you upload you, it changes you. It gives you a different voice, but it keeps some of what it uploaded in what it uploads. And so this is the song again with a little bit of changing of mixing other things in it. The difference here is I uploaded my sort of gritty, nasty voice to it and then had it make it pretty because that's what it does.
Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep and can't tell where to find them. Leave them alone and they'll come home and bring their tails behind them.
So that's the one I'm going to go with. I like that one much, much better than the other two. But this is just a sort of discussion of if you just cut and paste this in, you'll get something that sounds nice, but pretty sort of generic AI. You can mix that up by just making it unusual, just by the tags and things you do. And you can make it more unusual by literally just uploading your voice or your kid's voice to Suno. Again, when you create something, there's a upload. So if I wanted to create, I can just upload an audio here. Now, this thing called a persona as well. Technically, what I do is not a persona because they don't allow me to upload my own voice and make it a persona. But in effect, it is a persona because I'm basically just making a song for my voice and using the song that I create for my voice to make other songs. But technically, it's not a persona. Persona, you can only create, like I could create a persona from this, I believe. A great persona. Because it didn't start from an uploaded audio. If it starts from an upload, all I just have to make persona. I'm not going to make a persona because I don't like this voice. If I love this voice, I would make a persona of it. I mean, that's one way of doing it. It's just creating a bunch of voices, finding one that you like, and making personas. I would recommend that if you're not going to upload your voice, just make a shitload of songs and pick the ones that you love and create those into personas. Technically, when I upload my voice, it's not a persona, although in effect, it's sort of the same basic idea. It just technically it's not because Suno doesn't allow me to do that. But they do allow me, for example, I could make another song from this song. Now that this song is based on my voice, create another song. And maybe that changes my voice a bit and the rendering of the other song may be softer or harder. Then what I can do is I can just create another cover from it. What I cannot do is I cannot create a persona from it because it originally came from me uploading my voice. But that's just a small technicality, just to let you know. Okay, what I'm going to do for the rest of this video is just play the version that I like. But this is just more insights on how to use this Lullabize tool. So like, subscribe, doing all that stuff.
Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep. I can't tell where to find them. Leave them alone and they'll come home and bring their tails behind them. Little Bo Peep fell fast asleep and dreamt she heard them bleeding. But when she awoke, she found it a joke, for still they all were fleeting. Then up she took her little crook, determined for to find them. She found them indeed, but it made her heart bleed, for they'd left all their tails behind them. It happened one day as Bo Peep did stray unto a meadow hard by. There she spied their tails side by side, all hung on a tree to dry. She heaved a sigh and wiped her eye, and over the hillocks she raced, and tried what she could as a shepherdess should, that each tail should be properly placed. She gathered the tails, each fluffy and fine, and thought these sheep they're out of line. With thread and needle she started to sew, stitching tails on quick row by row. But soon she saw, to her surprise, a tail had somehow stitched to her thighs. Oh dear, she cried, this can't be right. With a tail on her leg, she was quite the sight. She stitched through morning, stitched through noon, stitched by the light of the high-hung moon, till all were attached, tails snug and tight, but the sheep were gone, not in sight. Then down the meadow they came in a dash, galloping fast in a sheepish flash. Each sheep looking bare, each sheep looking proud, leaving Bo Peep laughing, though crying out loud. The sheep wagged their tails, fluffy and grand, proud of their tails, like a marching band. But soon they grew bored as sheep will do, and wandered off without a clue. The sheep wagged their tails, fluffy and grand, proud of their tails like a marching band. But soon they grew bored as sheep will do, and wandered off without a clue. Oh sheep, dear sheep, you'll drive me mad. You leave me tail-tired, exhausted and sad. And so with a sigh, Bo Peep headed back, hoping they'd learn to stay on track.